In this video, we are going to create this cool animated endless image slider in React.js from scratch. Also, you can see the dots are functioning and showing the active images. We are not going to use any third-party dependencies but GSAP for animations. But don't worry, if you don't know about GSAP, it's just simple and easy, and I will teach you little as we go. So let's begin. We are in VS Code. My project files are empty. So first of all, we're going to install our package. First, let's install GSAP npm i@gsap/react. After that, we are going to install another package called React icon. React icon basically to just get some icons for buttons. So again, npm i react icons. Also, I have couple of images in assets folder. I named those images in sequence like 1.jpg, 2.jpg and so on. So now let's create a folder called component, and in the component folder, we are going to create another folder called imageslider. And let's make actual component imageslider.jsx, and to style it, we are going to create another CSS file named as imageslider. Next, let's import the CSS file like import/imageslider.css. Let's go back to our app.jsx and import imageslider from imageslider and return the component, and that's it. So now let's back to imageslider.jsx, and we want to create a JSX frame first. And for the image slider like this, we're gonna create 3 images and 2 buttons and dots. First, let's create a div class name imageslider, and in the imageslider, we wanna create another div as imageslider container, where we wanna put our images. Let's create a div class named images, and here we wanna create image element and paste it for 3 times. And we wanna name the class name as middle image, right image, and left image. Next, create a div to hold the buttons and named as buttons, and let's get button elements, class name as right button and left button. Actually, we want to access the images with image file path string. So just we wanna save the string path in a variable. So just say const image equals to our image in source/assets/1.jpg. Make the same for rest of images. For now, we have total 6 images, and now let's create an array to hold the string values. So we wanna just type const image array equals to, in the third bracket, all the variables we created. Now we can access the images with image array and an index. Now let's style our element to work better with logic. For now, we're gonna place some random images in the image to style it. So we access the image like image array and in the third bracket a number. Let's go to index.css. First, we're gonna style the body with 0 margin and 0 padding. Let's back to imageslider.css and let's hide 100 view height and width to 100%. Display flex, display content center, and flex direction to be column, and align item center. Next, style our images holder with just height of 500 pixel and width auto, same as the image slider. Display flex, justify content center, and align item center. Let's style the image itself. So just for the middle image, we're gonna be a little bigger than right and left images. So I'll just go with height 350 pixel and width 200 pixels, and you see it's getting stressed, so we are gonna use object fit cover and it's fixed. Now add little bit border radius to 15 pixel and box shadow to 0, 0, 30 and 1 pixel. It just works for me. You should adjust your style as you want. Next, we're gonna style the right and left images with height of 250 pixel and width of 150 pixel. However, you play with it and see what works for you. Next, we use border radius 10 pixel and object fit cover like before. Next, we will transform it little into the mid image. So just we can say transform translate 40 pixel and z index to -9 to make sure its layer always stay down. If we are styling, we will style the button and dots too. So we're gonna import the React icon, go to React icon website and search for your icon. I'm gonna go with arrow, and I guess I want this one. Copy and import it. Next, place the component in the button, and you can see it appears here. Let's style the buttons. We want a padding to 10 pixel and border 1 pixel solid black. Border radius 100%, font size 20 pixel, display flag, justify content center, and an align item to be centered. Do it for both buttons, left and right. In the case of right button, we wanna flip it. We're gonna say transform translate x -1. Next, we wanna make it in a row within flex, so we just have to display flex to its parent component. So just like display flex and gap used to be 15 pixel. And next, what we're gonna do, like we're gonna display the dots same as image count. For that, we are going to use map function, so it returns for each element in the array. Now we're gonna say image array.map underscore index array function, and in the parentheses we are gonna return a div that will represent the dots. Now let's go and style it. We're gonna say like height 5 pixel with 5 pixel and border to be black and border radius to be 100%. And make it round like dots. Now place the dots under a parent, and in parent we wanna display flex and gap to between pixel. Let's make the buttons a little bit up, and that's it. Now let's discuss about the logic. First of all, there are 3 image elements and we can change the images with array index. So we have to play with the number itself. So suppose middle number is 3, and then we have to make the left number as 2 and the right number to 4, and that's it. But still there is some catch. That is like, if the middle number is 0, we can make our right number to 1, but we have to make the left number as the last images of the array. So we can say array.length minus 1. Again, if middle number is last number in the array, in that case, we can't simply plus 1 the right number index, so we have to make it from the start, so we can make it like 0. Simple. And now let's back to VS Code and let's do it. First of all, we are gonna create 3 use states. One is for mid image, and one is for right, and one is for left image. For now, just put the default value to 0. Next, let's create 2 functions. One is increment and other one is decrement. Increment is just simply when we click the right button, and decrement is just when we click the left button. Now let's back to increment button. We gonna say if mid image equals to image array.length minus 1, and then we go with set mid image to 0, or else just set mid image plus 1. And for the decrement, we wanna just reverse it. So we will say if mid image equals to 0, then set image array.length minus 1, otherwise set mid image minus 1. And if we check now, our buttons are working and middle image are changing in the sequence. Let's fix the right and left image now. For that, we will take a use effect. In the use effect, we will set the heart bracket to mid image. That's mean whenever mid image states changes, this use effect will run the code block. Now in the use effect, we will again take couple of possibilities, like if mid image equals to 0, then set left image to image array.length minus 1. Else if mid image equals to image array.length minus 1, then we go with set right image 0, and else set right image mid image plus 1 and set left image mid image minus 1. And we are done, I guess. But let's change the default value, and now you can see our image slider is working seamlessly. However, I just add a little bit of the right and left images CSS and make it a little bit blur and saturated. Now it's time to animate the slider. As I mentioned, we're gonna use GSAP for that. GSAP is a powerful JavaScript library that allows to animate in the JSX component. And there is also more powerful things you can do. I will suggest to go their official page and check about them. For now, let's import GSAP from GSAP. Now we're gonna animate when the buttons has been clicked. So we're just gonna type in the increment function gsap.from2. From2 means just from a initial pose to an animated pose. That's it. Now we're gonna just mention the class name we're gonna animate in a string, and it takes 2 objects. One is initial state and other is the what we're gonna do. But in that case, we will fix our 2 value like x0 opacity to 1 and duration 0.5. And from, we're gonna do like x minus 200. It actually likes translate in x-axis. You can just directly write x minus 200. And then opacity to 0, scale from 0.6. And then if we check it, it's just working. So copy paste it for right and left image too. Adjust your values. You prefer what works for you. And these are the values just works for me. Now just copy the entire thing and paste it in the decrement function. And just reverse it, but still see what works and what not. These are the value works for me, and yes, the slider is working. Let's fix the dots now, and we want to do something like this. So first of all, let's create 2 children classes for dots. One is for active and one is for passive. So what we're gonna do now, modify and implement if else in the dot classes. So we're gonna say like dots, and in the $sign, we can say if index equals to mid image. That's mean if the images is active, then we can just active, otherwise it just have to passive. That's it. But before checking, we have to change the active classes. In my case, I just add the background color, and done. Everything works seamlessly. However, I have a GitHub link in the description, and if you gain any value from this video, you can subscribe my channel.